Hello, and thank you for watching. I'm Maureen Davis, and I'm here to introduce you to Trilogy 100. As you will see, Trilogy 100 is a lightweight portable ventilator which is used at home to provide either invasive or non-invasive ventilation. In other words, Trilogy 100 performs all or part of the work the body does to move air in and out of the lungs. The ventilator can be used to help adults and children, even infants if they weigh at least 11 pounds. A straightforward user interface makes Trilogy 100 easy to operate, yet the device includes sophisticated technology which can provide full respiratory support. A physician decides what type of ventilation is right for the patient's condition, and your home care provider sets up Trilogy 100 according to the prescription. This program is designed to show you how to set up, use, interpret alarms, clean, and maintain Trilogy 100. This program provides an overview of the basics of operation. Use it in addition to the clinical manual, which includes more detailed and complete information. Trilogy 100 is a small, portable ventilator that's easy to use. To become familiar with the system, let's take a good look at the unit itself. Here on the front, you see control buttons, visual indicators, and the display screen. The Start-Stop button at the bottom starts and stops the flow of air, which is how you begin or end therapy. Above it is an audio pause button, which temporarily silences the audio portion of an alarm. If the cause of the alarm is not corrected, it will sound again in 1 minute. Here, underneath the display screen, there are 3 white buttons. The up-down button in the center lets you move through the display menu and edit device settings. The left button is used to select display and menu options, which appear on the left side of the screen. The right button does the same for options on the right side of the screen. To make the unit easy to use in a darkened room, the Start, Stop, Left, Right, and Up-Down keys have LED backlights. You can turn these lights off if they interfere with the patient's sleep. Here in the bottom corner is a small green LED light. When this is lit, you know that Trilogy is hooked into an active AC power source. The display screen serves as the information hub for Trilogy 100. Here you can view settings, select options, and view alarm indicators. On the right side of the unit, you can see the AC power inlet. When you plug the ventilator in, the socket end of the cord connects here. The round opening above it is the breathing circuit connection. The tubing fits snugly onto the ventilator here. The device we're looking at now is fitted with a passive exhalation porting block, which is this piece in the back. Let's look at the other side of Trilogy. The slot is for a secure digital or SD data card. This is an optional card that collects ventilation data for your physician. On the back of the Trilogy, you'll see an air inlet which holds a gray foam filter. The filter, which screens out normal household dust and pollen, is washable and reusable. You must have the filter in place when the device is operating. On the other side of the ventilator is a detachable battery pack slot. A lithium-ion detachable battery pack is used to power the device and attaches here. Looking across the bottom, there are a number of connections and ports. You can secure the power cord using the cord retainer. Make sure that the air inlet port on the back of the device is not blocked and that air can flow freely around the unit. If the airflow is restricted, the ventilator may not work properly. Trilogy can be powered by 4 different sources: AC power, an external battery, a detachable battery pack, and an internal battery. The device will always use AC power if available. When AC is not available, it will run on its external battery if connected. If the external battery loses its charge, Trilogy will run from the detachable battery pack. When no other power source is available, Trilogy will rely on its internal battery as a last source of power. Immediately seek an alternative power source when the low battery alarm occurs, because loss of therapy is about to occur. A manual resuscitator bag should be available for use just in case there is no power available. To use AC power, plug the socket end of the power cord into the AC power outlet on the right side of the device. Plug the pronged end into a wall outlet. The ventilator must be connected to a wall outlet that is not controlled by a switch. You'll know that the AC power is connected and the device is operating properly when the green AC power LED on the front of the unit is on. Trilogy 100 also features a detachable battery pack. When the device isn't connected to an AC source or an external battery, this will supply the power. Here on the back of the detachable battery, you can see a set of LEDs. Press the button below to see how much charge is left in the battery. When all the LEDs are lit, the battery is 80 to 100% full. Under typical conditions, a new fully charged detachable battery can power Trilogy 100 for about 3 hours. The detachable battery snaps easily back into place on the back of the ventilator. Trilogy 100 also has an internal battery, which can be used as a backup power source for shorter periods, so the ventilator stays on while you switch between external power sources or transport a patient. Under typical conditions, the internal battery can power Trilogy 100 for approximately 3 hours. When Trilogy 100 is connected to AC power, it will automatically recharge both the internal battery and the detachable battery pack. A completely discharged internal and detachable battery will take about 8 hours to recharge. The ventilator is designed to work with either a passive exhalation port or an active exhalation valve. An optional bacteria filter can be used with either type of valve. To set a passive circuit up, connect one end of the flexible tubing to the outlet of the optional bacteria filter. Insert the bacteria filter inlet to the breathing circuit connector on the side of the ventilator. If you aren't using the optional bacteria filter, attach the tubing directly to the breathing circuit connector. To operate Trilogy 100, you must be familiar with the screen display. In this segment, we'll review some of its symbols and operations. Press the Start-Stop button on the front of the device to begin therapy. The display screen and the backlights on the buttons turn on. The red and yellow alarm LEDs turn on momentarily, and an audible indicator lets you know that therapy has started. A startup screen with Trilogy 100 and the software version appears briefly on the display screen. The ventilator returns to the most recently defined ventilator settings, and a monitor screen appears. The appearance of this screen may vary depending upon how your clinician has set up your device. Trilogy 100 has a simple and a detailed screen view. On the simple display screen, the top section is called the monitor panel. It shows which of the ventilator's many therapy modes is in use. If any special features are active, an indication will appear beside the therapy mode. If the physician has ordered 2 different prescriptions, for example, one setting for daytime and another one for nighttime, you will see primary and secondary indicated. A patient breath symbol displays during a patient-triggered breath. A bar graph displays the current pressure level. Pressure is the amount of force it takes to deliver a breath to the lungs. The bar graph moves to the right as the pressure increases during inhalation and moves to the left as it decreases during exhalation. In the center of the screen, the current date and time is displayed. The status panel at the bottom of the screen displays informational symbols. You may see an open lock, which is a feature used by your home care provider. You see this symbol when the secure digital or SD memory card is in the slot. If you see this one, there's an error with the SD card. You know the detachable battery is in place when you see this symbol. Here again, the amount of green shading gives you an idea of how much charge is left in the battery. The internal battery is indicated by a horizontal symbol. You can tell that this one is fully charged because the symbol is completely green. A black box appears around the battery which is currently supplying power to the ventilator. A lightning bolt over the detachable or internal battery symbol means that the battery is being charged. A bell icon with an X drawn through it indicates that the pause button has been pressed and the audio pause is active. To end therapy, press the Start-Stop button on the front of the device. You will hear a short tone. The display screen will pose a question, "Power off?" Press the right button to answer yes. Both the backlights and the display screen will turn off. If the physician has ordered two different prescriptions, for example, one setting for daytime and another for nighttime, you will see primary and secondary settings indicated. On the right side of the screen, you see the date and time. Menu settings allow you to make some choices about Trilogy 100. To enter the menu screens from the monitor screen, press the Up button on the ventilator. Menu options appear on the lower half of the display screen. At the bottom of the display screen is an on-screen button panel. As you can see, these buttons correspond to the control buttons on the ventilator. You can use these buttons to navigate and select menu settings. If the home care provider has set up a dual prescription, this option will appear on the menu screen. You can change to either your primary or secondary prescription settings. Use the Center Up-Down button to highlight the Switch to Primary or Switch to Secondary options. Press the right button to select it. Trilogy 100 will ask you to confirm that you want to make the change. You can press the left button to answer no. In this case, I'll press the right button to answer yes and switch to the new prescription. The display screen returns to the main menu after a selection is entered. Trilogy 100 provides continuous or intermittent ventilatory support. So it is very important that it operates correctly and without interruption. To alert you to issues with the equipment or with the patient's breathing, the ventilator has a number of alarms. Make sure the volume of the device is turned up loud enough so that you can hear these alarms clearly over other room or equipment noise. The ventilator has 3 types of alarms: high priority, medium priority, and low priority. The sound and visual cues help you recognize the urgency. In addition, informational messages and confirmation alerts notify you of conditions that may require attention, but are not alarms. High priority alarms sound like this. That's 3 beeps followed by 2 beeps. At the same time that the alarm sounds, the audio pause button on the front of the ventilator flashes red. When you hear or see a high priority alarm, respond immediately, as a high priority alarm alerts you to critical issues with the patient's breathing or with the ventilator's operation. Always look at the patient before attending to the equipment to ensure that he or she is being properly ventilated. If not, use a manual resuscitator to help the patient breathe. When you are sure that the patient is stable, turn your attention to the ventilator. The alarms and message screen will show a priority alarm message highlighted in red. You can temporarily silence the audio indicator by pressing the audio pause button. An audio pause message displays in the menu banner on the alarm display screen. The alarm will be silent for a minute, and if the problem is not corrected, sound again. You can press the audio pause button again for another minute of silence as many times as necessary. When audio pause is active and you are on the monitor screen, an audio pause symbol appears. When the problem is corrected, the alarm LED, audible alarm, and the alarm background color will shut off. However, the alarm text remains on the screen until you press the left button to reset the screen. This is a medium priority alarm. You hear 3 beeps in a repeating pattern, and the audio pause button flashes yellow. Medium priority alarms require prompt attention. An alarm message will appear on the display screen. Medium priority messages appear highlighted in yellow. Trilogy 100 also has a number of low priority alarms, which convey information that you should be aware of. For example, a button is stuck, or the detachable battery needs to be charged. Low priority alarms are two beeps together in a repeating pattern. The audio pause button shows a solid yellow light. The alarm message is highlighted in yellow. Trilogy also displays informational messages and confirmation alerts that notify you of conditions that require attention. For example, the AC power cord is unplugged, or the battery is no longer charging. You will hear a single beep when an informational message appears on the display screen. With normal use, the gray foam filter should be cleaned at least once every 2 weeks. The filter is in a recessed area on the back. Remove it by gently squeezing the filter in the center and pulling it toward you. Insert a clean filter to take its place. Examine the filter you have removed from the unit for cleanliness and integrity. If the foam filter is torn or damaged, it needs to be replaced. Wash the gray foam filter in warm water with a mild detergent and rinse it thoroughly. Allow the filter to air dry completely before putting it back into the device.